Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Elder Scrolls Lore, and now we finally are getting to the Jarls of Solitude. So, initially founded as a holy settlement, but never really held a significant presence in Skyrim, Solitude really never achieved anything significant until the Second Era, and this wasn't until the coronation of High King Erling, who was based out of Solitude, who expanded the settlement by building the walls to the city. He ruled at an unknown time, probably somewhere in the First Era, or even potentially in the early Second Era, and he later built the bridge that would connect Castle Dower to the tower that leads to the docks underneath the one you used during the Dark Brotherhood questline. Now, it isn't until the division between East and West Skyrim where Skyrim sees its influence split between Solitude and Windhelm, and during this period, Solitude was ruled by Jarl of Solitude, and that was in 431 of the Second Era. That's where we get our first date, our significant, a significant ruler. Sometime after, in 572 of the Second Era, King Svargrim would rule Solitude, and really nothing significant would happen during his reign. Then, later on, we get King Mantiarco, who ruled from sometime in the early Third Era to year 100 of the Third Era. And he may have wore the crown, but it was his wife, Potema Septim, that would do most of the governing once they got married. And really, when he died in the year 100, Solitude was then co-ruled by Uriel Mantiarco, his son, with Potema, and co-ruled with Potema herself. Now, Potema was known for challenging Empress Kintria II and her authority, leading to Potema and now Uriel III to be banished. Uriel III would then ascend to Emperor once politics had done their business, and essentially Potema would then rule Solitude by herself. But after Uriel III's ascension in 114, he would then be killed in 127 of the Third Era, and Potema would rule Solitude until 137 of the Third Era, where she died in Solitude. Now, Pelagius Septim III, or Pelagius the Mad, was then crowned in 137 of the Third Era to essentially stabilize and have a puppet king over the kingdom. We obviously know a lot about Pelagius the Mad, and we can go and do a whole video about the craziness that he has invoked upon himself and everyone else around him, but nevertheless, that is not today's video. He was best known for his eccentric personality. Although he was seen to be a bright child and had the potential to be a very good ruler, he would then later lose his mind and go crazy, and then would do some questionable things, and then rose to emperor in the year 145 of the Third Era, where his sister Jalethi would then be crowned Queen of Solitude. Now, at some point in the Third Era, Queen Hania had ruled during Solitude's rivalry with Snowhawk. Now, Snowhawk at the time was a small minor settlement, but then lost its significance later on. Now, by 432 of the Third Era, King Thane had ruled Solitude and allied with Dawnstar to capture Rose Korea. Now, this alliance would last into the Fourth Era, assuming such. That means King Thane had to have lived from the Third Era into the Fourth Era. Now, that or his descendants carried along the tradition. Sometime during the 100s of the Fourth Era, Yarrow, or High King Istalad, had ruled Solitude at this time, and he was at least ruling during the Great War, which was 171 to 175 of the Fourth Era. And essentially, it would be his son, Torig, that would then rise up and claim the throne during the Moot after Istalad's death. Now, Torig didn't do much during his reign, but he is best known for actually being killed by Ulfric Stormcloak, and then after which his wife, Jarl Elisif the Fair, would then take over in 201 of the Fourth Era, and essentially even if the Stormcloaks win the rebellion, Elisif will remain on the throne of Solitude and govern from henceforth. And that is it! We have run out of things to talk about. To be honest, I actually thought this would be a little bit longer, but it turns out that Solitude didn't have much significance up until the Second Era, so a lot of our information comes from then on. Whereas with Windhelm, we get a lot of information all around. But regardless of which, it was interesting to go into Solitude, and I actually thought of a few video ideas while doing research for this video as well, so expect that in the future, and expect the Jarls of Morthal, for what little we can get out of Morthal, to come next. So I hope to see you all in the Discord chat, and I hope to see you all in the next video. Peace. If you enjoyed, please like this video because it really lets me know you're enjoying this content. And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. The links are right here for you to click on, and the Discord chat link is right here as well. And overall, I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope to see you in the next video. Peace.